We are waiting now. Major foreign policy speech from Hillary Clinton moments from now, where she's expected to go hard against Donald Trump again. She attacked the presumptive GOP nominee yesterday, too, calling him a fraud.
This is just more evidence that Donald Trump himself is a fraud. He is trying to scam America the way he scammed all those people at Trump U.
Joining me now, Katrina Pierson, Trump National Campaign spokeswoman. So you've got to expect, Katrina, that she's coming out firing today, just moments from now. She's going to say he's unqualified, dangerous, a loose cannon. She's going to go into specifics in a very direct and clear way about what makes Donald Trump unfit to be president. And your response is?
You know, we do expect this, Gretchen, and she's fighting for her life in her primary. You know, remember, Donald Trump has knocked out 16 other candidates and became the nominee prior to the convention, whereas Hillary Clinton is still struggling right now with the socialist from Vermont. So we fully expect her to be lashing out. But at the same time, this line of attack is not going to work, just like any previous lines of attack, because Hillary Clinton has a serious problem. The American public is tired of the status quo. I'm looking forward to her concept of foreign policy, considering how she wants to keep everything the same. But I guarantee you what we won't hear about, Gretchen, is the fact that she ignored calls for help when the U.S. ambassador and those at the consulate in Benghazi needed it. Well, and not to mention only that, but the terrorism in and of itself is because of Hillary Clinton's actions as Secretary of State.
Well, those are things obviously she's not going to talk about, and those are things that your candidate can have in retort, the Benghazi situation. And I know he's going to probably say that he doesn't think she has a lot of accomplishments as Secretary of State. But does she have a point when she's talking about sort of the flip-flop or changing of attitude with regard to the ban on Muslims that he originally talked about, and then said that that was something that was just in progress? The advocating use of torture and some of these policies that he hasn't been crystal clear about.
No, not at all, particularly with the ban on Muslim immigration. Mr. Trump still has not backtracked from that. The question was posed to him if he would back off of it, considering if there was something that could be done. And that is the policy, Gretchen. The temporary ban on Muslim immigration was until we can find out what is going on. And when our intelligence agencies tell us that we can vet these people properly, then of course he would back off that policy. So again, a lot of the times you hear the media pull these conversations that Mr. Trump has about the things that he would and wouldn't consider and try to pose that as his policies. That's where the confusion is coming from. Mr. Trump has been the same.
Okay, let's move on to this. Billionaire investor Mark Cuban speaking out about Donald Trump, questioning whether he is in fact a billionaire. Listen to this.
What he's done well is put his name on big buildings, right? He appears to have done well putting his name, you know, through a licensing arrangement on hotels and buildings, and he's good at that. Now, whether or not that's made him a billionaire, I don't know. He's not transparent enough for us to really know.
Has your camp been in touch with Mark Cuban? Because his name was floated as a possible VP for not only Trump, but for Hillary Clinton. But now he seems to be moving towards Hillary Clinton. Do you care?
Look, I know Mark Cuban personally, and I'm not quite sure what his analysis has to do with the presidential campaign, but Mr. Trump has been very clear that he is very proud of his wealth, that he is a billionaire, and I'm not quite sure that too many people actually believe that Mr. Trump isn't a billionaire, considering he does have over 500 entities that he's been operating
I
this whole
guess
time.
The thing is, the reason that we're talking about it is because Cuban's name has been floated as a potential VP for both candidates.
Well, you know, a lot of people have been floated, but, you know, it's not to my knowledge that Mr. Trump is considering Mark Cuban as vice president, though it does make for good news and good TV, but Mark Cuban really isn't a consideration when we're talking about moving America forward.
All right. We're awaiting that Hillary Clinton speech. Katrina Pierson weighing in on all of it before we hear from Hillary. Thank you, Katrina.